What's going on, guys? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to tonight's stream. Today is Sunday, August 20th. It is the start of a new trading week. Let's get it. I'm super excited for this up and coming trading week because you just never know, right? You never know. This up and coming week could be that one week that you hit big. And that's massive. Right, but let's see who we got in the building with us tonight. What is going on, Tony? I see you. Right, we got Danny in the house. What's going on? We got Jude in the building. Get the bag. Wally, what's up? What's up? Good afternoon. Good evening. Hopefully everybody that is listening right now is having a phenomenal night. And I also hope that everybody has an upcoming phenomenal up and coming week. Let's get it. What's going on, Tammy? Good to see you. Let in the building. Christian, Marquise, Jose. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to tonight's session. Once again, let me go ahead and get this thing started, family, because I am super excited to be here with every single one of you guys. Let me go ahead and put myself on the screen as well. All right, I'm super excited to be here with every single one of you guys tonight, as it's another opportunity for us to come together and truly try to figure out what is going to happen in the upcoming week overall. Right, like what is the markets? Where can the markets go? What can we look forward to? What can we expect? And all that good stuff, right? I feel like it's going to be a phenomenal week overall. But before we even move forward, we got to go ahead and go through the calendar real quick, right? There is a few major events that we have to be aware of for this up and coming week. Right now, again, these are key U.S. events for this up and coming week that are going to affect the strength or weakness of the U.S. dollar, right? That, these news events I talk about all the time because it's so important, guys, right? Fundamental analysis is so crucial. That tells us the overall real trend of a market if you truly understand how to interpret it. If you truly understand how to break down the news, and if you understand what to expect based off of news, it truly makes your ability to read technical analysis that much easier. And you're going to go from having a high probability trade to an even higher probability trade. All right, because now you're aligning all the forms of analysis together. And that is crucial. All right, I truly believe that if most of you guys right now that have only tried technicals so far, if you start to really add a little bit of fundamental value into it, you're going to see your win rate actually go ahead and improve. You're going to see it. But you got to go ahead and, be willing. You have to be willing to actually go ahead and learn that aspect as well, right? Again, we all know, trading is essentially learning an entirely new language. And that's for all forms of analysis, right? Learning how to mark up a chart, that's a whole language in itself, right? Learning how to interpret the news, the sentiment, those are languages in itself. But again, if you want to be a professional, it just makes the most sense to really understand that, right? But let's go ahead and really just go through a few of the major key events that we have this up and coming week, right? We don't have anything crazy on Monday. On Tuesday, we have existing home sales that's getting released. We do have a member of the Fed that's also going to be speaking at around 2:30. Right, we have core retail sales and retail sales for the New Zealand dollar. If any of you guys trade in New Zealand pairs, be mindful of that. Now, going into Wednesday, we have a couple major things, right? Starting off with, U.S. PMI services data, right? This is going to be big. Okay, this can definitely go ahead and shake the markets, and it's going to release right at 9:45 a.m. So this is going to be an interesting one, guys, for sure on Wednesday. And then we also have some new home sales, crude oil inventories as well, that we can go ahead and pay attention to. Now on Thursday, it's going to be very interesting. Right, Thursday is going to be very interesting because we have the start of Jackson Hole Symposium. And I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I know exactly I know the gist of it. But this is a major event, right? Where a lot of top figures in the financial space are coming together. And this is going to create volatility for sure. Okay, so I don't know who's speaking. I don't really know what the main topics are. But what I do know is that it's gonna be juicy and it's gonna shake up these markets. And that starts on Thursday. Okay, and it also goes into Friday as well. Now on Thursday, we also do have core durable goods and durable goods comes out. Also, initial jobless claims comes out as well. All those news events obviously bring some volatility to the markets. And then on Friday, to go ahead and pretty much close it out, we do have, again, the president of the ECB going to be speaking, going to influence the euro. But what I'm more interested in is Mr. Jerome Powell himself going to be speaking on Friday at 10 o'clock, right? Again, for those of you guys that don't know, Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Federal Reserve, right? He has more influence over the money markets than any other person in this entire world. That's how high of a position Mr. Powell's in right now. So you kind of want to pay attention to what he's saying, because what he says is going to influence the decision making of the big money. Right? Listen to this, family, right? What Jerome Powell says, or what any big time speaker, right, any big time head of a central bank, whenever they speak, investors are listening. Right? Smart money's listening, right? Hedge funds are listening. Banks are listening. Because they want to figure out what the sentiment of the market is. And when they get the sentiment of the market, now they also have a directional bias more times than not. Then you just gotta, for us as traders, we just have to understand that, and then we gotta align our technicals to give us those entries that we want to find. That's the name of the game. But again, we have to be very mindful of this. It's going to be interesting. It's going to bring a lot of volatility depending on what he says, what he talks about. It could definitely go ahead and shake up the markets overall. For sure. Right, but let's see who else we got in the building tonight. Right, great to hear from you, family. What's going on, Danny? Appreciate you, little bro. Able coming for that. Oh, yeah. Now we coming for all of them. What's going on, Ted? I want to buy the dollar index waiting for the pullback. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that in a second. Right, we're going to get into the charts for sure. Let's see. We got Wally. What's going on, bro? Free zone in the building. We got Eric in the house. The family's in the house today. I see you guys, man. I see you guys. I see you guys. Let's see. Why are the news inconsistent? Sometimes the same data, different direction. That's a good assumption. All right, that's a good assumption. Now, does the market react always how we expect it to, based off our interpretation? No. Maybe we just, perceive the news the wrong way at that point in time. Right? Because that's all we could do. All we can do is identify. We can look at the news, right? Look at the information that we have available to us, and then we make a decision based off what we believe the sentiment is going to be. Now, if we're right, then obviously it's going to go in our direction. If we're wrong, then maybe we just misinterpreted the sentiment overall. And that happens, right? That happens. Again, we're not going to be 100% accurate traders because nobody is at the end of the day, family. But again, let's go ahead and really get into this and see what the dollar index could be doing this up and coming week, right? Because the past couple days, we really haven't done much. If you really look at the dollar index here on the higher time frame, right? Obviously, if we look at structure right now, what have we been doing overall? Right, we came from this very strong push down, created this support, price bounced off it, tested the highs, higher low, lower high, right? Very basic, simple concepts. We ended up running this low now. Now, this is where you really, in my opinion, to truly understand what the direction of this market could be long term, like where we could see the dollar to go long term, you have to understand the fundamentals of the market. What has the data been saying? A lot of the data that has been coming out recently has been very bullish the dollar. So if that's the case, then when I do my markup and I'm over here analyzing the market to see what I can, identify, I'm identifying these levels right here where we run the support. Again, we're on the daily and we immediately come back within the range. I'm identifying that. Why? Because I'm bullish the dollar because of how I'm interpreting the sentiment in the market right now. I believe we're very much in a risk on environment. Risk on is going to benefit dollar strength. Everything else is, for the most part, should be weak, right? If we're in a risk on environment and the dollar strong, then gold is going to be weak, euro, the pound, everything is pretty much going to be weak. So I'm bullish the dollar because I have been noticing the data itself has been coming out a little bit worse than expected. And that can influence the decision making of Jerome Powell when it's time to either raise interest rates or pause. So yeah, I do think there is a possibility that we eventually see this thing maybe cool off. But I'm still going to be looking for opportunities to the upside here on the dollar itself. I'm still bullish this. If the thing is, we're just so high in this move here on the dollar, right? We're so high in this range. I kind of want to see this thing pull back. All right, I would love for us to come out and start to target some of these wicks down here, right? Maybe go ahead and, take out, maybe come all the way down to the liquidity pocket all the way down here. All right, I don't know if we'll get that low, but, and again, we're on the daily time frame, so this is like us expecting a reversal up here, right? Playing off of, where we're at. We could spike up one more time, and then this reversal could actually come here for the dollar itself, right? Again, we are playing the, daily time frame. But I'm just analyzing how price has been reacting, right? And the reason why I'm kind of like anticipating maybe possibly some dollar weakness for this week is because of how we've been reacting up at these levels, right? We know we're at levels of structure here. right? We know that this is a key level here. And look at how price is being reacting, right? For the past 3-4 days, we have just been struggling up at these levels. Could that mean that selling pressure is entering the market? Possibly. Or could that just be the market building up more liquidity to continue to go bullish? That's a possibility as well, right? But either way, I'm leaning towards still being bullish, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did start to see maybe some type of a pullback. And I don't know how deep it's gonna go. Again, I don't if we do start to pull back, like I don't see anything that's gonna stop us until we maybe come sweep some of these lows. If not this low, then the lower one down here. Right? If we start to pull back, then yeah, I could see us going down to 101.7 all day long before we go ahead and continue in the overall bullish trend, right? If the data is going to be consistent with what it's been for the past few weeks. Right? So that's my approach on the dollar itself. I'm interested to see how we react up here in this liquidity pocket. All right, again, we could see, price just continue with this overall strength that we've been seeing, and it could run through it, or we could see, a reaction right out of there that starts that pullback. That is what I'm going to be pretty much looking to play this entire week. So it's gonna have me really being a little bit more, on the sidelines more than anything, right? Because I really want to see how we react up here, right? I really, really want to see how we react up here. So overall, I don't know. We'll see how we play off of that overall. But what I do want to ask is I want to see, what the guys think, right? Because we do got, Mr. Kyle on the building. We got Mr. Ray in the building as well with us tonight. And I want to see what their thoughts and opinions are on the dollar itself so that we can, see what we can come up with, right? Maybe we can come up to, understanding that, if we all both agree on a direction, and that's only going to improve our confidence in these markets overall, man. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think the dollar is going to be doing for this up and coming week if you guys have a bias right now? As they answer, let me check the chat
Yo,
here.
yo, what's going on? What's going on? Um, to be honest, looking at the dollar where it's currently at, um, I do feel like we'll get some bearishness to start the week. That analysis you have does definitely really agree with what I have going on. It really is majority of what I'm looking at. But whether that bearishness will hold is kind of tentative. But, overall, I do feel like we are going to get some bearishness to start the week just because of how bullish we've been going. I don't know how much steam we have left in the market, but this bearishness would probably be more of just a retracement for us to continue buying. But overall at the start of the week, I do feel like we'll get some bearishness for sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that's what I think as well, man. I don't know. It's been loading up. I mean, price action itself has just been getting slower and choppier and choppier. Now, obviously, we don't know what 100% certainty what that's going to mean, but more times than not, that could just be a sign that momentum or the buyers are starting to slow down. So we'll see, man. We really got to see how we react around these levels. Again, long term though, either way, if we do sell off, that's perfect because I do want to look for, more opportunities to eventually load up on some long term buys on the dollar itself, family, right? So that's dope for sure. All right, I don't know if Ray's there. I don't know if Ray's there. But if he is, I'll definitely love to see his opinion as well on what he thinks the dollar itself is going to be doing for this up and coming week. But in the meantime, as he gets ready, I'm gonna go ahead and go right to gold. Right, again, a gold is definitely one of my main focuses these past few weeks. Right, like pretty much 95% of the last trades I've taken over the last 2 weeks have been on gold. Right, so I've been really just trading her, just selling her off. And the reason why I've been just continuously looking for sells, throughout this entire move down here was because of what, my interpretation of the data, right? What the fundamentals were telling me. I was bullish dollar for the past few weeks because of news. So I was selling gold, right, with no fear. Even as we got into this area right here of liquidity, right, into this, liquidity pocket, right, I was still, just trusting the news, trusting my understanding of it, of what I believed, right, the sentiment of the market was, and that's pretty much been playing out, right? And I think, I mean, until something changes, I'm gonna continue riding that out. As of right now, we've been seeing again just sellers, really come in, and it hasn't even been too much of an aggressive selling off neither, right? But we've been selling off. Now, where we're at is very interesting with gold. Okay, because we are at a very interesting level though when it comes to gold now. Because whatever happens down here below 1886, I mean 1885 can be anybody's guess, right? We can either just get into this area of fresh liquidity and immediately turn back around and start pushing up, or we can just run right through it, right? Because we just have so much selling pressure. Just based off how we've been coming down here so far, right? With all this price action the way it's been looking, who knows how it's going to react off of that, but it's going to be interesting to see. But either way, I'm still leaning towards continuations until proven otherwise, right? Until structure shifts on these lower time frames, right? Until structure actually is broken, I'm sticking with the trend. To be honest with you, this was probably the easiest moves I've been, attempting to play over the past few weeks. Because this thing was just straight down. Like this is just super easy, simple price action to trade in. Especially when you understand what the order flow is. And I mean, although we are breaking, fresh lows and we're starting getting into more liquid areas of price, where a reversal could come, I need to see something, right? I want to see this high get taken out now. Why? Because this is the previous high that put in the low. If we can take out that level, then I'll be all right. You know what? This thing could start to actually go ahead and pull back up. All right, and then we might be able to do a little some. But even then, I'll have to really see how far I like to, ride that thing out, if anything. But overall, that's what I will be. That's what I will have to be looking for over, for gold. For me to look for buys, I'll have to be, playing above here. As long as we're below this 1902, I'll be looking to short this market continuously. All right. In fact, going into tonight, this is probably not going to be a bad play. This is what I'm going to be looking for probably for tonight, going into tomorrow morning. Depending on how I wake up for New York session. Because I'm really interested to see us pretty much take out this entire 1897 level right here. All right. I would love for us to go ahead and do maybe something like this. All right, and then give us an opportunity to go ahead and just continue in this overall flow that we've been in for the past 3 weeks. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. It's worth the attempt. Because guess what? If we're wrong, if we are wrong, then we have to really consider, again, the overall change in momentum because of where we're starting to reverse from. Again, if we start to reverse, especially, if price does drop a little bit, takes out this low, drops a little bit, and we see that shift, and we have to consider there's a possibility for this thing to go bullish and start to correct this. But until then, which we don't know if that's going to happen just yet. I'm going to stick with the trend and continue to milk this thing out until proven otherwise. So yeah, if we can come back up and maybe enter up into the 1900s levels, right? 1900 round psychological level at that, I think we could really look for more continuations to the downside. So this is a play that I'm hoping waits for me to wake up for tomorrow morning. Right? Like I don't want this to happen tonight. I need this to happen like tomorrow for New York session so we can all take it together. Or at least all of us in the premium community. That'll be pretty dope. All right. By 7:30, we're just chilling right here. 9 o'clock comes, 9:30, we spike up, get that sell, and we all in this? Yeah. Hell yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what the market gives us overall. But it's definitely a setup that I'm very interested in just continuing to watch and see what happens for sure. Let's see what we got here though. Let me check what your guys is in the chat. Gas has gone up so quick in the last week, almost 10 cents a day. Yeah, I mean, That's what happens when, oil has went bonkers past. I mean, look at oil. Right, this is the daily time frame. Just back in June, we were at around $67, right, a barrel. Now we're at 81. Like, look at this move. That's why gas prices are shooting up, because oil has gotten more expensive. And honestly, this thing looks like it really could. It really could go ahead and keep going up to the upside, which kind of sucks for people with gas. All right, that kind of sucks overall. But let me see what else we got here. Let's see. I know you're probably bullish, but can I get your thoughts on GJ? Yeah, of course. Well, I'll take a look at GJ. Again, gold is really going to be one of my main focuses. I want to see how we play off of this tonight. Maybe hopefully by New York session we can get something. But I will also take a look at GJ real quick. Because, yeah, I am bullish, right? I'm always bullish. Even when I understand that there could be a pullback, right? That there could be a pullback incoming, I'm still going to be bullish. I just understand that a pullback is, very possible, right? So just looking at GJ itself, I mean, obviously we're coming from a very significant move here, right? That actually got us trading above, 184, right? We haven't traded at these levels since, I mean, when I started trading back in 2015. All right, so we're trading at levels that we haven't really been trading at in almost a decade. So, I mean, what type of reaction could we see from trading up here? We really don't know. I mean, the only thing that I could really highlight is maybe, us looking for price to react off of the 189s. Maybe up here in this little liquidity pocket we have up here. There could be something up there. But what does that mean for GJ? That means we just have so much more upside to go. We're only at 185. Right? The pocket is at like 189. That's at least another 400 pips. So I'm definitely still long-term bullish this. It's just right now we're in this period of correction. And that's cool. Why? Because now this gives us an opportunity to go ahead and find some long-term entries, long-term positions. Okay, so what I would be looking for GJ is, for one, for us to get back towards this key level. All right, could price actually go bullish from here? I mean, possibly, right? Again, the market's going to do what it wants to do, right? You guys hear me say that a million times because it's true, right? I can't dictate what the market's going to do, right? But I would want to see how we start to react near this key level, because around here could tell us, if we are going to go ahead and truly continue bullish, right? But if we can get this entry down here around the 183s, 183.5s, then yeah, I think there's a phenomenal opportunity for us to really ride this thing out to the, the 189s. All right, which again is a pretty big move. We're talking about a 500 pip move. Which is not bad. But we'll just have to really see what price does when we get down here. All right, see how market starts to react around this key level. But overall, what do I expect the market to do tonight for GJ? Let's see. If I'm looking for anything for GJ tonight, I would have to see. I don't trust these equal highs up here. I don't trust those equal highs up here, because I was gonna say we could possibly, if this thing pulls back, possibly look for the short into this 184s. But I don't know if I trust those highs up there, right? And if we actually end up going all the way back up here, we probably are just gonna continue, right, and take out these highs, and that short wouldn't work. All right, so I will be just patient, right? And I would literally just let this thing fall off, because it is a possibility for us to just sell off, and then look for these buys, as we start to get into, all this area right here of structure. All right, that is how I will be playing GJ overall. Where we're currently at right now, I don't care for it. I really hate taking trades like this in the middle of these moves, right? Where we're like in the middle of this pullback right here. Right, so I would rather, especially since my main focus is really on gold, I'd rather just let this thing come down to here, and then from there we can look for opportunities to go ahead and go long. Now, again, that is a very big move still, right? That's a lot of pips to the downside. So if you guys decide to go ahead and maybe wait for a breakout and then something like that, that's on you, right? You guys do what you guys want to do when it comes to, your trades, all right? But for me, I would want to just wait till it gets down there and then start to go ahead and, add in some buy positions, right? But that's gonna be my focus for the week. It's definitely gonna be gold. It's gonna be like one of my main priorities for sure. Uh, GJ, I'm gonna keep my eye on it. Again, I'm not really in a rush to do anything until we get down into these 183 levels. Indices, who knows? I'll see if I want to trade indices for the week. Either way, my bias is going to be continued bearishness for indices as well. So we'll see if we can find something overall, right? But those is my biases right now. Again, I do have, the guys on the call as well, and I want to go ahead and allow them, to take a look at anything that they want to, take a look at. All right, I always want to see what the rest of the team is eyeing so that I can, see if I like it, right? Because I'm trying to get paid with everybody as well. All right, so Kyle, Ray, if you guys have anything you guys want to mark up, definitely go ahead and do what you do and provide that value to the family. Let me see. Let me see. What about bricks? The 22nd. What's going on with bricks on the 22nd?
Yo,
There he is.
what's good? Not sure why my mic wasn't working, but we on here. We on here. Um, yo, to be honest, man, um, I think one of the major setups that I'm gonna be looking at this week is the USD CAD short. Um, we weren't able to capitalize off of USD CAD last week. We did catch a nice trade setup on EU and GU for the London session. Um, GU has been going pretty bullish lately, and even though EU has been going down, like we've been getting some bullish setups on GU, and it's been treating us very nice on the London session. I feel like GU is a great pair to trade for London. I've been trading New York occasionally, but more so I've just been focusing on London session. So um, I want to see if we can get some setups here on USD CAD coming in shortly. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the drawings that I have. I'm gonna give you guys like my outlook here on USD CAD. As you guys can see, I had an alert that just got hit. One of the major things that I'm gonna look for is some USD CAD weakness to play, especially since we're at the 50% of this weekly order block. I like this a lot. I feel like we can definitely get some bearishness here off of USD CAD. Um, we're at a monthly candle we're playing at right now. We're also playing at a weekly candle. We're also playing at the weekly open. So this is a nice setup that I do see playing out. We can spike a little bit more up into this daily candle up here, so we can have some multiple time frame confluence. Right now, we only have the monthly and the weekly that are showing us that bearishness. On the daily, we have yet to mitigate off of this candle, so I do feel like maybe we can probably get a spike up to that. But at the end of the day, the weekly and the monthly could just be enough to make this thing start moving. Um, I'm just letting you guys know I am keeping an eye out on this daily candle up here. If it comes up to this candle, I'm definitely gonna start aggressively shorting the USD CAD and have this thing be a potential swing setup for us to continue to the downside. I mean, we have some imbalances that still need to be filled. So overall, I am still bearish. I would want to see us spike up into this just to get a better entry. That would be the best possible scenario. If we can spike up into the 1.35880 level right here at this daily order, but like that would be perfect to take a swing setup to swing USD CAD to the downside. But possibly there is the possibility that we don't even get up there because we already tapped into this candle, and I'm kind of just gonna have to wait until later on this week to see if this ends up being the high. If this ends up being the high, that's fine. I probably will catch like a re-entry off of a retest and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you know, we can never know what's truly the high until we start seeing those momentum shifts. So, at this point in time, I'm not gonna, even though I am looking downside, I'm not gonna force an entry or anything. This could very well be the high that we're currently in, and I kind of just want to see the market set that in stone, and then I'll probably catch a re-entry off of that, uh, just to kind of play a little bit more on the less risky side. Same with this, same with this level, the 1.35883 level. I kind of just want to see something set in stone, and then we can start catching the retests off of that. So, you never really want to play and trying to catch the top or the bottom of the market because, it could really burn you, especially when you keep attempting tops over and over and over again. Um, I really like playing the continuations off of the top or the continuations off of the bottom. So overall, I kind of just want to see a solidified high set in stone that the market kind of confirm for me. Um, and then I can start looking the opposite direction here for entries and whatnot. So um, yeah, overall that's my bias here on the USD CAD. Waiting for possible entries in this zone for bearishness. Overall, I think it could pay you guys very well if you guys catch a good entry off of that. I mean, if you look at the dollar, we are still going up. So that's why I'm, even though I am looking for somewhat a bearish dollar, I mean, we need to see some sort of break of structure. Like we need to see a break of this because this candle didn't quite create a high. So, the last higher high was down here. I don't even think a break up here would be valid. I think once we see a break of this, once we see the market break this, then we can look bearish because at the end of the day we can still swipe this and still go bullish. You know, even if we do swipe this, we can still go bullish. I want to see a full-on break of structure of this level, and then we can start looking bearish. It's going to be kind of tough to force the bearish dollar out of this because at the end of the day, regardless of whether we think it's high or we're sweeping liquidity and whatnot, I need to see a break of structure at some point. Like the break of structure is going to confirm everything for me, because look at what we're doing right now. Like we're literally just continuing bullish, and that's what the market could do, especially when we're in a set trend, a solidified structure. Like it needs to react and then create a break of structure, and then we can start shorting off of the next retracement. Right, this retracement right here could be valid for shorts off of this candle, but that's like more on the riskier side. Once I see a reaction off of that, then a break of structure, then another retest, that's when I'll start seeing that maybe we are distributing. But for now, even though I am starting the week bearish, I need something to confirm that. I need a momentum shift. I need a break of structure to confirm that. And hey, if we don't get that and we just continue higher, then it's best off that we just continue to the upside and we just continue taking these buys to the upside if we don't get what we're seeing. You have to understand that sometimes like the market is not about what you want. It's about trade what you see, not what you don't see. Right? We don't see any bearishness right now. Like we only see bullishness. So if we don't see it, I'm gonna trade what I see. I don't see the bearishness. I see straight bullishness. So if I don't see it, I'm gonna lean more towards that direction. It's not until I see the bearishness start coming into play then that's when I could start trading in that direction. I'm not gonna trade what I don't see. So at the end of the day, I really want to just see more confirmation set in here on USD CAD before I start taking entries and whatnot. And by all means, this could be the high, but I'm not going to force it. I'm going to let that high set in, and then there will always be another reentry for sure. There will always be another reentry, and most likely it's in the same point that the market is currently at right now. But the reason why it's gonna be better to wait for the retest is because your risk to reward would be a lot better. You'll probably be risking a smaller stop loss, and you'll probably be targeting a better take profit. I mean, by all means, we can just short right now off of the daily open and off of the weekly open, and we can catch a nice trade. We'll probably look good on Instagram. It'll probably look lit because we caught the top of the market. But it's like, is the risk to reward truly there? Like, what would we be risking on a setup like this if we were to short right now? Like, you know what? Somewhat of like 30 pips. Like that's that it just makes no sense. Like, for what you're gonna receive off of this trade setup, you should be receiving a lot more. Like in my opinion. In my opinion, for the type of swing that we're looking for, I wouldn't accept this risk to reward. I would accept anything double or more than that. So yeah, I mean that's overall what I'm looking at for USD CAD. Some sort of bearishness from either where we're at um or possibly this higher region. That's going to that's definitely going to be my outlook on the week for USD CAD. Yeah, I don't know if anybody is in USD CAD right now. I mean, let me know. I know there's a couple people that caught the longs off of here. That was actually my exit for the short. And you know what's crazy? I should have took the long on the other side, but like I took so many profits off of the short right here that it was kind of just like I was in the mindset of like, okay, I don't need to trade anymore. Because when you take some good amount of profits, sometimes you're kind of like, you know what, maybe I should just call it a day and just not even trade anymore for the rest of the day, which was a good mindset, when you're in the moment. But like looking back at it, this did have all the confirmations for a buy. This did have like everything we look for. We look for the reaction off the 1 hour, and then we look for the reaction off the 5 minute. We got the 5 minute reaction, and we got two 5 minute reactions that were very bullish. But overall, I was blindsided just to the fact that I was up so much money from the sell that I thought the sell would just continue forever. We did have a good exit, but that good exit also turned out into being a good entry. So, just keep in mind whenever like we tell you guys or whenever you guys exit certain positions, it may be best to sometimes look in the opposite direction. Um, and it can pay you very well. I mean, overall, this was a if I would have took this, I would have took a risk to reward something like this, a 10 pip stop. And I mean, look at that. That was a 1 to 17. So there was definitely a lot more gas in the tank left for the buys. But I don't think that's the case here this week. I think this week, the reason why there was a lot more gas left in the tank is because the market wanted to come up and fill this 50% of this candle. I think we're at a do or die level. If we break this candle right here, then I would go straight bullish. I would go full on bullish USD CAD. I would be like, yo, like I would target these highs. So keep that in mind, guys. Like, even though I am looking short, if we do break this weekly candle right here, the 1.3650, then I will look bullish and probably want this thing to break all highs, which would be like another 300, 400 pips in the tank. I think right now we have a good 300, 400 pips in the tank for the sell, but and that's why I'm aggressively still looking short. That's why I'm aggressively still in that direction because we have potential to go towards the downside. But once this thing is clear, then I probably will reevaluate. Or like, let's say our stop gets hit and it breaks this candle range, then I'll probably switch directions and go towards the upside. And still, there's gas in the tank towards the upside for another 300, 400 pips. So regardless of what happens, I'm gonna catch like a 300 pip trade on USD CAD. Like it's like set in stone already in my mind. It's either I'm gonna catch 300 pips to the downside or 300 pips towards the upside. At this current moment in time, I'm favoring the downside. Can things change? Yes. And that's why it's always good to be adaptable in the market, and it's good to evolve and adapt to market conditions. And I'm willing to do so. I am willing to do so. But at this current point in time, I'm aiming bearish. And if I have to adapt, then I will, off of this level, of course. So, I mean, that's my current mindset for USD CAD. That's like the main type of trades that
Hey, yo,
I'm
Kyle.
looking at. Yo, what's up?
Yo, when you can I grab screen share real quick, bro? Cause I ain't by my charger and my battery just melting away. I don't want it to die before I say anything.
Go away, bro. Yeah, USD CAD is mainly what I was gonna look at this week anyway, so I'm pretty much done.
All right, but I'm gonna just talk about a couple setups. Cause like I said, I don't want my computer to die because I'm not at home right now. I'm not connected to my charger either. So there's a couple setups I do want to go over real quick. First and foremost, good evening to the family. I hope everybody's doing great. But just diving straight into it, I do want to kind of talk about a couple setups here. I am looking at Euro CAD this week, where I am expecting some bearish price action. All right. So I am looking at, this sweep of the highs on the 4 hour, followed by this break of the lows. I'm looking for this candle to be the peak candle, right? That wants to, protect itself. I'm looking at this as a protected high. All right. So if we do come back down to, let's say, the 1 hour chart, we can see where we did sweep highs, then we break, make new lows, and now we're in this corrective state, right? Where, these lows are actually leaving some liquidity behind, where I could see this being potential targets for us to go after, right? So when I see these weak lows forming right here, I think that gives me an opportunity to go lower so I can go ahead and capture those lows, right? So me just seeing that, I do see an opportunity to go short on EuroCAD. But if you guys do know me, I like to give myself room for error. So I will take this lower high entry, but I'm also aware of the fact that there could be potentially money left behind above these highs over here also. All right. So in the case that there is some money above this high, I will be eyeballing this particular region over here as a potential area to sell from as well. So, I know what direction I want to trade in, but I'm going to give myself two separate opportunities to get the entry that I'm looking for. First entry will be here. The second one will be above these highs, because a lot of times we take a trade and it'll knock us out first, and then it'll go the direction that we want it to go. So that's the reason why I'm going to approach it that way. No. So that'll be an opportunity right there for us to actually come up, take these highs out, and then possibly continue back to the downside. All right. So the first opportunity I see will be an entry 4783. All right. We'll be risking about 22 pips on that trade with an 85 pip TP1, 130 pip TP2, with the potential to go a lot further to the downside, because as you can see, just even on the higher time frame, we are pretty bearish in my opinion. Obviously, the current order flow is bullish on the lower time frames, but if I'm just looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, I got this high that came and put in this low. We broke multiple areas of structure, right? Now we put in this lower high. We broke some lows internally. So now I'm looking at the potential for us to continue bearish if this area over here wants to hold itself as a lower high, right? So if this holds as a lower high, we could potentially even see the market coming to target these lows down here. So even though I got 130 pips as a TP, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we do want to drop closer to 500 pips, but that's just a swing target. Me, I'm more going for intraday right out the gate. All right. So my first opportunity will be here. If that happens to fail for whatever reason, I'll be looking for something up here above that pocket of money right there. All right. So I hope y'all following along right there. I'm gonna be quick because my battery is just melting away. When I'm on Zoom, it goes pretty quick. So just a sec. So now we're gonna take a look at GU, right? So for me personally, I'm gonna take some shots at the longs on GU pretty much because I see us coming down here and possibly reversing, all right? So one thing that I see a possible opportunity because this low is still held up, right? This low right here is still being maintained by these lows, right? So we came down, we tested it multiple times, but we haven't broken below this point down here. So realizing that, I do think that this low has possibilities to hold. Technically, I don't go, typically, I would say I don't go for those lows that have wicks in them. But at the same time, realizing where I am in the higher time frame and then coming down to the 1 hour or the 30-minute, those wicks really become V-shaped reactions, right? So when I see those sharp reactions like that and like that, those could definitely hold up, right? I would not be surprised to see those lows hold up. So what I'm looking for now is we have our impulsive move. Then we create internal range liquidity right here, right? Then we break structure, making a new high that breaks previous highs. So as you can see, we got these sets of highs here that are breaking this previous high over here. And just understanding that, I do think that all of this price action in between is just building more and more liquidity. I feel like this is just getting ready. It's just confusing you. But if we pay attention to what's really important, and that's this low right here, all right? This low right here pushing into this high up here. If we pay attention to just what's important, it's easy to not get lost in the sauce, right? And we could just pay attention to what's really important, which is this low down here holding its weight. All right. So if this low here can hold its weight, which I believe it can, I do see the potential for some massive buys on GU. All right. Obviously, the DXY has been, going in one direction, and this is kind of going the opposite. But at the same time, I do see this as a strong possibility here, right? I know you already looked at the DXY, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I will just say briefly. The DXY has been bullish, right? DXY has been bullish. As we start to clear these highs, we can anticipate some type of at least a retracement, whether it's a long-term sell or not. I do see us, popping up, potentially dropping at least down to this liquidity pocket here. Then once we get down here, I'd like to reassess what's going to happen. But just this sell-off on the DXY is what can definitely cause this bullishness on GU. So the same way I think the DXY can push up, then drop, I think GU can push down, then pop up. All right. So that's that inverse correlation on, GU and the DXY. All right. So this is two of the setups that I'm looking at for this week. And pretty much what I see going on right here, right? I'll take a look at a couple more pairs because I don't have much time before my laptop dies. I had one more pair I was looking at. I forgot which one it was.
What about the euro?
Euro dollar.
Yeah.
I don't really trade it, but it'll probably do something similar. I'm more comfortable trading GU personally, but I would assume that it'll do something similar where it'll drop a little bit, then go bullish, whether it's a higher low or a sweep of the low. I would say just play both of them if you want. But there was another pair I was looking at. Maybe I covered it already. It wasn't AU. Oh, that's why. Euro GBP. Yeah, I never traded. That's why it was hard for me to remember. I don't really trade this pair, I would be real. But I do see the potential for some bullishness coming into play. We swept lows, made higher highs. We leaving some weak highs below or behind. If you just wanted to take this and see if it'll go, I would take it very low risk. I'm not big on this pair personally. I really don't like this pair, but I just see the potential, right? In a market where there's not a whole lot of trending pairs, where the DXY is just kind of in one direction, a lot of pairs have been moving in one direction. Sometimes you got to get a little picky, and sometimes you got to, put your pride to the side a little bit. But one thing I will say is, like, even on slower weeks, you can still be very profitable. Like last week, for example, I took a jab at AUD CAD, then I lost, right? And then I took one trade on GJ and made a bag, right? So literally, like, the only trade that I actually made a profit from, I went 1-1 last week, and one of them was this, GJ set, right? I'll say that to say this: if you don't see a lot of setups, it's okay. Just keep showing up every day, because you might get that setup that you're looking for on Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday morning. And then if you hit for, let's say, a 1-19, and this is just about 1-20, right? Just like pretty much 1-20 from where my entry was. I didn't exit perfectly at the bottom, but that's the potential that this trade had. So if you're able to catch trades like this, even if it's later in the week, that's going to hold you over for the whole week, right? And I'll say that to say this, trading is not a 9 to 5. It's not, I show up and I get paid every day for the amount of hours I put in. It's like you get paid based off of the opportunities, not the time that you work. So if you keep putting yourself in front of the markets, eventually you're going to see an opportunity that you could benefit from. It might not happen the day you expected or the day you want it, but it will happen. And then the day that you take a day off, that'll be the day where that opportunity came. The day that over leverage and now you can't trade, the next day will be the day where the markets is moving perfect. And it's always like you have to be ready for that opportunity whenever it does come. So just keep showing up, keep putting yourself in the proper situations. So that way, when the opportunity does present itself, you can actually execute, right? So it took a lot of patience out of me last week, right? The market's been flowing beautifully for me for the past month. And then last week, it was just nothing. Nothing. And then the last full day of the week is like Thursday night or whenever this trade hit, right? It's like, I want to say Thursday morning around noon or something like that. was able to take a banger of a trade that held me over for the whole week. So that's pretty much what I'll tell y'all, man. If it's a slow week, take it in stride, you know, keep showing up to the markets every day and pay your dues. You know what I'm saying? Every day is not going to be a day to get a 1 to 20 setup. But I can assure you, if you don't keep showing up, you'll never find that day. You'll never get that opportunity that you want. All right. So that's just something I wanted to share with y'all real quick. Again, I'll be looking at GBP USD this week. I will be looking at buy opportunities down at underneath 2673, underneath 1.2673. That's essentially where I'm gonna start looking for buys. The deeper I get into this, point of interest, the better. So if I push down a little, lower, let's say to like 2642, then that's just better, right? But I will say at least start paying attention around that 6.2 or that 2673 area. At least start paying attention. The lower it goes, the better. But pay attention once we clear this low out here. And then the other trade we was looking at was is it Euro CAD? Yeah, Euro CAD. So I'll be eyeballing 4783 on Euro CAD. All right, 4783. I personally don't think either one of these trades is going to happen today. So just be patient. I don't think neither one of these trades is going to be ready tonight. So, keep your eyes open for like late Monday, Tuesday, maybe. And we could possibly get those setups, right? Like I said, low risk opportunity, swing opportunity. I would say Euro GBP. If you take it low risk, you could probably get a decent little 1 to 5 out of it, and just hold for the rest of the week. It's more of a slower pair, so I don't expect too many fireworks out of it. It's just a swing opportunity that I see that I think we could take advantage of because of multiple reasons where, we do sweep these lows here. We create this low, we hezzy, internal range liquidity, fresh highs, inducement low, and then we take that inducement low, we take that pocket of money. Now we're reaccumulating in this point of interest where the market can just continue to push to the upside, right? So there's a lot going in our favor on that particular setup. Those are the 3 setups that I'm gonna be taking this week, guys. So if you want to take those trades with me, feel free. And I hope you guys got some value from my quick little session, right? But so I'm on 3%. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to my guys and see if they want to take it from here. All right. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, nah, let's get it. Let's get it. Definitely appreciate you as well, for taking time out of, your day to go ahead and do that for sure. But Kyle, again, you were in the middle of, still breaking down USD CAD, or I forgot if that was the pair you were on. Do you have anything else, on that pair that you still have to go over? Let me know. And I'll look at the chat, see what they're talking about. Right, let's see. Abel, can you look at Bitcoin? Yeah, I can take a look at Bitcoin as well. We actually are coming off of a crazy sell-off that really affected the entire crypto market as a whole. All right, this was pretty crazy. But overall, after the sell-off, I mean, we've been chilling. We've been really, just chilling around this 26,000 level for the past few days. And you guys know me, I'm so bullish that I think we still, go ahead and continue bullish. I'm bullish crypto. I've been bullish crypto since, last year when we were telling everybody to start to buy all the way back here. And I'm accumulating, right? I believe if you're not accumulating crypto right now, then you are going to be extremely upset in about a year, when crypto is back up, you know, doing all-time highs again. So, hey, man, but I'm bullish. I'm bullish. I'm bullish. I don't even like to even talk about crypto in terms of like a tradings aspect, right? Like, oh, where can I look for some buys and sells, right? No, I don't care about that. What I care about is just accumulating, investing into it long term, right? That's how I play crypto. I don't even play around with it. I just buy, hold, buy, hold, and then we'll see. We'll see you guys on the next bull run for sure. All right, but let's see what else we got here. Trying to catch up with the comments. Let's see. What up, fam? I've been away from the child a while. What's going on, G? My guy George in the building. What's the word, George? Good to see you in the chat. Right, let's see. Can you check the Discord? Yeah, of course I could check the Discord, right? That's a good segue. So for those of you guys that are listening right now, if you guys are not a part of our Discord family, please go ahead and check the chat because I did just drop the link to our Discord in the chat. We do have a public section in there. You're able to come in and, go ahead and just, have conversations with myself and the rest of the team and the actual community as well. All right, but let me go ahead and take a quick look at the Discord. Let's see if Tokyo's core CPI is at 3% and supposed to take down to now 2.9%. Should that be bearish the yen? I don't think it'll be. I mean, I'm always bearish the yen, to be honest with you. Right. So to answer your question, will that be bearish the yen? Possibly, just because I mean, their inflation is ticking down, right? As long as their inflation is going lower and lower and lower. Again, you got to think about it. The Bank of Japan, they have been dealing with, their monetary policies a lot differently than what we've been dealing with, right? And how we've been dealing, right? Not even just us in the U.S., but pretty much almost every other central bank, and that's just because of how they approach it, right? They were dealing with inflation, but nowhere near as crazy as everywhere else in the world, and it could just be because of how the Japanese actually live life over there, right? They're very frugal, right? The Japanese, they don't spend money at all. They have low interest rates, or they have negative interest rates because they try to encourage people to spend money, right? And they just do not spend money over there, and that's why they've had their interest rates in negative territory for decades now. So them going lower, CPI actually getting better, inflation getting better, I think that's not going to do anything but only continue to devalue them overall, in my opinion. All right, in my opinion, of course. All right, but it is an interesting question. I mean, we do have that news event coming out this week as well, so we'll see. But besides that, though, family, I mean, you guys know what my game plan is overall. Again, I'm gonna be keeping my eye on gold. Gold has continued to pretty much fall off right here, but now we're testing these lows down here. I would love for us to really start to bounce up off of these lows. Leave this double bottom right there for us, please. Right, then give us a reason to go ahead and go short up at those levels. I think that would be, a very healthy attempt, to really go ahead and look for some shorts here on gold. So we'll see. Obviously, like I said, I don't think this is going to happen anywhere soon, anytime soon. Hopefully by tomorrow morning for New York session, we could see prices, a lot higher here for gold, getting closer to our entry. So, so we can go ahead and take that stab at the market, see what we get from that. GJ, yeah, I mean, I'm bullish, GJ. Obviously, I was looking at price going lower, but I don't even know if we are going to go any lower. Just looking at price right now, all right, just looking at structure here on these smaller time frames. I mean, this thing looks like it actually might want to even, start pushing a little higher now, right? Just looking at what structure has been doing, right? Because we're at an actually interesting level of support and resistance. We did just break above, closed above a very interesting level of support and resistance, right? So I think that we could see, more upside here for GJ, heading into London session. All right, I think there is a possibility for that. Now, is there a chance for us to go ahead and find an entry off of that theory? Possibly, right? Maybe if we start to see price, again, give us, we see the little breakout here, right? The breakout has come after we did a little bit of a liquidity grab right here as we broke this level of support right here. We grabbed liquidity and then we ended up shifting. So yeah, there could be a opportunity for us to get involved if we, come back and test towards, these lows, right? Maybe taps into this little bit of an imbalance right there. That last little institutional candle, if you want to call it that. And then yeah, I do think there is a possibility for us, to see higher pricing here on GJ. All right, just based off what we're looking at right here. Now, I don't know if we're going to go all the way back up to these highs, but I think if this is a level that I think could play out the way I think it could, then I think we could, come up to at least the 185.8, 186 levels or so, which is still not a bad little play, not a bad little scenario here. But we'll see, we'll see what price does overall, but this is definitely something you can keep your eye on for sure. All right, let's see what we got here. Appreciate you, boys. See you tomorrow in the trade room. Yeah, tomorrow's trade room is going to be on fire. right? You guys know I'm coming with the energy, and I'm excited for it for sure. Right, I see George. Yes, sir. I still been trading mainly S&P and Nas. It seems better for me. Just focus on mastering just one or two assets. You can never go wrong, right? We're really just dialing in on a couple pairs that you want to trade, a couple assets that you want to trade. Right? I say this all the time, guys, right? But all these pairs and all these, assets that we trade, right? You really want to treat them just like you treat a human being in general, right? Every single one of us have different personalities, right? So in order for us to truly understand who we are, we have to take time to truly understand how our personalities work. Trading is the same way, right? These currency pairs are the same way, right? These assets are the same way. They all have their own personal, their own separate personalities, right? Some of them move, at certain times throughout the day, right? Some of them move best during Asian, some of them move best during New York, some of them move best during London session. Some of them move 70 pips in a day, right? Some of them others move 200 pips in a day, right? There's so many different variations or different personalities that these currencies really have, and yeah, dial in on maybe, a couple of them could be beneficial so you do understand when they are the most active, the type of patterns that you constantly see them do, the type of reactions that you see off of key levels. All those cool things, guys, just, it gives you more information that can ultimately help you, create that edge in the market for sure. Right. So yeah, this GJ looks interesting though, guys. So keep your eyes on it. Again, we are on a 5 minute time frame, so this could happen very quickly, right? And it could happen actually pretty soon, right? But I think it's definitely, worth risking a good half of a percent on something like this, right? But overall, that's another thing that we keep our eye on. But my main focus is definitely going to be gold. See how we play off of gold. If we can go ahead and continue to push back higher, that would be phenomenal. My real thing is definitely going to look to see if I can continue to short this. We've been shorting. I've been selling gold the entire past 2 weeks, and I want to continue to sell it. Again, I do know that we are starting to reach, areas of structure where we could, start to really experience some buying pressure into the market because we are getting at more liquid areas in price. But I want to continue to sell this until proven otherwise. Right? That's my mindset. I'm gonna stick with it, and it's just because again I'm trusting in myself, especially when it comes just to understanding the news. Right? And that's why I'm still very much bearish gold because of the data itself is telling me to be bearish gold, right? So that's pretty much what we're gonna see, and we'll see what happens overall. Let's see, Abel, have you ever relied on currency strength meter as part of your confluence? I did about 7 years ago, right, when I started trading. That's one of those things that I think every new trader has to go through, because they think it's like the quote unquote holy grail. And the currency strength meter is, I mean, it is what it is, right? It tells you the strength of the currency, but it's only telling you the strength of the currency at that given time, at that point in time, right? That tool itself is never going to be able to help you. I'm not going to say never, right? But it's not going to predict future strength. It can't predict future strength. That's not what that tool is there for. It is telling you what current strength is. So unless you're scalping or unless you're looking at it from maybe higher time frame, things like that, that tool is really not going to be beneficial, right? Again, I used to use it back in the day. I used to think it was the holy grail as well, but it really didn't do anything for me, right? So again, it's not going to truly, it does not predict future price action. It's just telling you what's current strength of the market. But 10 minutes later, you never know. Strength can change, and now it's going to flip, and you're going to be like, oh, man, it was just, yeah. So I don't know. If it works for you, though, do what you do. But other than that, though, family, I don't know if Kyle has anything else that he wants to go over overall. But I pretty much am all set. I'm excited for this up and coming week. If you guys are part of the premium familia, let's lock in. Tomorrow we go live at 8 o'clock. So let's definitely go ahead and get prepared. Let's have a great, great trading week. I know I'm excited. I think gold is going to give us a phenomenal start to the up and coming week. So let's definitely be excited for that for sure. And yeah, man, I look forward to, just running it up with you guys. But family, if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, by all means, reach out to us in the Discord. I did just drop the link of the Discord in the chat. If you guys are not a part of it just yet, go ahead and get in there. Join in on the conversation. Ask us any questions, comments, or concerns you may have, and we'll try to, obviously provide as much value as possible. But without further ado, we love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for hopping on, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Let's get it, y'all.